Welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. In this podcast, we discuss the how-to of creating conscious leadership for business, life, and the world. With ordinary people doing extraordinary things and being truly in control of their own health, wealth, and happiness. Knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. Introducing your host, Julie Hogbin, author, international speaker, mentor, disruptor and creator of conscious leadership and property investor living in the UK. COVID-19 and lockdown is beginning to close down and things are beginning to open up. Construction sites are beginning to open, the retail shops are beginning to reopen, offices are beginning to think about how to bring people back into the working environment. So this episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast is around thinking around and maybe bringing to the fore some of the things that it would serve us as managers, as leaders, to consider. Some people have been working from home and have really enjoyed it. And it may not be something they had done before, and the manager and or leader may not have managed people remotely, distance before. And of course, some people have been working from home and have probably really disliked it because they want to be in a community environment and be part of a team. However, these two people come back into the working environment, and whenever they come back into the working environment, there are going to be very different management skills, leadership skills required. The ones who just want to come back to work and get back into the old style environment may find it very difficult to adapt to the changes that will need to be put into place. How are the social distancing norms going to be implemented into an office? If you already are working within a flexible working office environment, how does that flexibility become even more flexible? For those that have really enjoyed working from home, how are they going to be feeling coming back in? Added into that and onto that, have they had COVID-19 or not? Has anyone in their family had COVID-19 or not? Have they lost anybody within their family, whether that be a close family or a distant relative? Part of the grieving process for anybody when they, become ill is the fact that you visit them, you see them, you pay your last respects, you go to the funeral, and of course a lot of that has not happened. So people are going to be coming back into the working environment with different emotional requirements to when they left. Have people been acting up in other people's absences? How do they get put back to their previous role, and are they going to be put back to their previous role? Have people been looking after posts, holding the fort, taking on additional duties, or not, as the case may be? People that are furloughed and have been operating on 80%, are they coming back in with financial obligations or difficulties now, or not, as the case may be? What does the working environment become if you have half of the team coming back in and half of the team staying away, which is a possibility, a huge possibility? How do you include everybody within the team when you've got half close to you and half not? Or is it you as the manager or leader who is excluded from the team, whereas before maybe you had been sitting at the same desk as your colleagues? Potentially well, not even potentially, I would think definitely new systems, new processes, new procedures have been instigated and set up as part of the lockdown. Are they still the systems, processes and procedures that are going to be continued forward as the lockdown and the repatriation into working environments, the normal working environment, whatever normal means? Are the new processes going to be instilled, or the old processes are going to be put back? How is communication going to be affected internally and externally? How is the organisation, whatever business you're in, whether we be entrepreneurs, our own business owners, or working for an organisation, what's the communication process, and how are the results, how have the results been affected, and does anything need to be completed with that as well? So much to be thought of, so much to be considered, so much to be managed really well, or as well as we possibly can. We have been through an imposed change scenario that nobody chose. Organisations didn't choose it, individuals didn't choose it. So how do we manage through and out of the other side of that? If you have any questions, please ask. Email me on connect@clavem.global, CLAVEM. So connect@clavem.global, and I will very happily answer the questions you have. If you want to join a Facebook group, I've set one up, Conscious Leadership, because that is definitely what's required. Conscious Leadership, Clavem. Come and join me in that Facebook group, and I'll be very happy to answer all your questions in there. Wishing you well, wishing you the best. Yeah, wishing you well and wishing you the best. Thanks for listening to the Conscious Leadership podcast. You can contact Julie on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and hear me out. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel for how-to videos and more content. And please message Julie to have your questions answered. Until next time, remember, knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. See it, say it, write it, believe it, and achieve it.